So yeah, you read the title correctly. I think the quantum computing company IONQ has the potential to be a $100 stock in the future. And in this video, I'm going to explain why. Back when IONQ was a $10 stock trading under the SPAC ticker DMYI, it seemed like a really interesting company that not a lot of YouTubers were talking about. And when it hit its peak on November 17th, it was trading at over $30 a share. And a 200% gain over the course of a couple months is absolutely insane, which is one of the reasons why this sleeper stock gained so much attention so quickly. So with that said, I urge you guys to kick back and relax, and I'll explain why I see so much potential in this company. So for IONQ to reach a share price of $100, that would bring its market cap to roughly $19.23 billion, which is around the same market cap of Domino's Pizza and Nissan. Which I get it that this isn't going to happen overnight, but quantum computing is an industry that just has so much potential. And with an estimated total addressable market of $65 billion by the year 2030, IONQ reaching a $20 billion market cap by this time is more than feasible in my opinion, if they're able to continue with their smart business decisions. Which, as you'll see in this video, IONQ is in an extremely unique position and has one major advantage that no other quantum computing company has right now, which I'll discuss in a bit. So in order to understand why investors seem to be so interested in IONQ recently, it's necessary to understand the concept of quantum computing itself. And at its most basic level, quantum computing combines the fields of quantum theory and computing. So quantum theory explains the behaviors of particles on the atomic and subatomic level, and that's a field that I neither have the time nor ability to explain in any further depth. But what's important to note here is that quantum computing fundamentally changes the behavior of the ones and zeros that are under the hood of raw computer processing power. And you have to understand, computing as it is currently is really limited right now. Information is encoded as bits, represented as either ones or zeros. But quantum computing utilizes the ability of quantum theory, in which particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously. So instead of bits, it uses qubits. And qubits are unique in that they can either be a 1, a 0, or both at the same time. And what this means is that quantum computing has a much greater ability to encode information at an insanely larger scale. And thus, you can understand all the excitement behind it. But with that said, quantum computing is still a very early industry. IONQ's future is far from being settled. However, there are a few very encouraging signs that indicate its position could truly make it a pioneer. And to me, arguably the most important early sign that IONQ will continue to be a leader, and the one unique advantage that they have, is that IONQ is the only hardware available on all three major cloud computing competitors. Amazon's Web Services, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure all support IONQ's quantum hardware. And no other company is available on more than one of those three clouds. And these cloud services are already used by countless companies as it is. So the fact that IONQ has tapped into this market is nothing short of incredible in my opinion, and gives them an insanely competitive advantage over any other company trying to compete with them right now. And not only that, but they are also the only hardware available on all three major quantum software development kits, which is essentially just a framework for third-party developers to use in producing applications. So in this example, you can kind of think of an SDK as the software interface that can connect any business to IONQ's powerful quantum hardware. And this is huge, because if you're a company that wants to harness the power of quantum computing, chances are you're not going to want to build your own quantum computers on your premises. All you care about is access to that raw processing power, which is why the major cloud services and SDKs will allow both businesses and developers alike to have access to it. And another current advantage of quantum computing, and why this is an industry that is truly going to help humanity move into a more technologically advanced era, is its ability to improve artificial intelligence. IONQ's products and services could ultimately lead to vastly improved machine learning and more predictive AI, which can help anything from better weather prediction, to more robust digital marketing tactics, to more advanced financial fraud detection. So for the most part, literally any business that uses computing stands to benefit from quantum computing. However, while I love IonQ and I think it's definitely going to become a leader in the space, I think it's also important to give you guys a balanced view so that this doesn't all sound like too much hype. Despite all of the potential I've just explained, IonQ still remains a very small company. The company is less than a decade old and doesn't even have 100 employees yet. Nevertheless, the $233,000 in revenue that the firm posted in Q3 is bound to give at least some investors pause. And furthermore, IonQ posted a $14.8 million net loss in Q3 of 2021. Yet at the same time, IonQ maintains $587 million in cash and cash equivalents at the end of Q3. And given their recent run-up and earnings, there is probably a low chance that the share price is going to rise to a new height anytime soon. But I don't want this to discourage anyone, because all this means is that IonQ has a good chance to fall to more reasonable prices for anyone who missed a good opportunity to get into this stock. So if you're looking for a speculative company to add to your portfolio to gain some diversification in the quantum computing industry, I think IonQ is probably the best right now, and at the very least, it's the most intriguing stock you can add to your collection. And since you guys seem to love these IonQ videos so much, I will continue to update everyone on this company moving forward, so you can always stay up to date with them. So in conclusion, yes, IonQ is a smaller quantum computing company, and it's arguably going to take some time for them to expand into a larger company if they plan on taking a majority of the market share in the quantum computing industry. And it's still an incredibly early industry, like I mentioned, probably akin to the state of video game technology in the 1970s. But if you look at where video games are today, it's a night and day difference from 50 years ago. And I think that's how you should view quantum computing right now. And even though IonQ is a company that was founded in 2015, you have to understand that research and development for this company didn't start in 2015. The total amount of research done to build this company from the ground up began 25 years ago, which means that IonQ has plenty of total combined experience when it comes to the technology that they're producing. And I just can't tell you guys how excited I am to see where quantum computing leads. And given that there's no other stock in the stock market right now that is a pure play in quantum computing, IonQ not only has the advantage of being extremely specialized in one area, but also has the ability to raise more capital. And I think with time, we're going to start to see more and more companies utilizing the power of quantum computing through the cloud, which is vastly going to expand the reach and impact of IonQ more than seemingly any other company right now. And with that said, I think I'd like to end the video here. Let me know what you guys think of this company, and if you think it has the chance to rise to a $100 share price. Which, I get it, I know it sounds kind of far-fetched right now, but I think in good time, we're really going to start to see where IonQ can go. And honestly, I'm genuinely curious to know what you guys think about IonQ and where you see it going in the future. So be sure to drop a comment in the comments section, and we can have a discussion about it. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks as always, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.